As most programmers know, when you first start coding, you create text-based programs. And since I'm just starting this channel, I thought it would be fun to go back to the days when I was making very basic text games. So I decided to recreate Zork. To add a challenge, I set a 24-hour time limit. If you don't know what Zork is, it's a cunning adventure game with sarcasm, trolls, and thieves that people used to play back in the 70s on command line. It's basically Terminal if you have a Mac. The premise of this was you show up at this random white house in the middle of the woods, and then when you finally break in, you find that there is this subterranean world full of priceless treasures underneath this guy's house. You also may have heard of it from Call of Duty Black Ops, where it was featured as an Easter egg. To be honest, I think I played it about as much as I played the actual game. So if you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. As I was creating the game, there were certain features I wanted to replicate to make the game more Zork-like. I like the format of how each area is described. There's a title up above, and then a description hinting at what the player can do afterwards. Then when you leave an area and come back, it only shows you the title of the place. This was actually pretty easy to implement. I made a class called Room that had a title and a flavor text. If the room wasn't visited before, it would display both and mark it as visited. If it was visited, then it would only display the title. Another feature I like about the game is the hidden doors. In the original game, the basement is hidden by a rug, and only by removing the rug can you go into the basement. That's when I got the idea, well, how can I make it so you can't get in the house without picking the lock with some tools? It was fairly straightforward to check if a certain item was in the player's inventory, and they wanted to open the door. The only thing I had an issue with was in one method where I updated the current room. For some reason, it wouldn't change the room that I passed to the method, so I ended up passing the entire map instead of it. While I was making the clone, I also wanted to make a little Easter egg to the game. One command you can do in Zork is jump, to which you'll receive a sarcastic remark about having fun. In this version, if you type clap or jump, it will ask you, are you enjoying yourself? Overall, I had a fun time taking a break from graphical games and making a text-based game. Of course, since I did this in 24 hours, there were some additional features I'd like to add to the game. I found myself writing most of the back-end code before actually creating the game, which is a good thing because afterwards I could add as many rooms and items as I wanted. But I would have liked to give the game some more depth. My original version for the map was supposed to look something like this. But 20 hours in, I realized that I had a lot more of the map to make. So I started writing out flavor text, creating items, and connecting the rooms. Then I looked at the clock again and I was like, wow, there's only 1 hour left. That's when I realized that I still had to make the smelter functional. So I started furiously typing and got that working. And that's when I realized, oh shoot, I still have to make the cave. And it's going to be very basic. So this is what the map ended up looking like. I also would have liked to improve the input reading from the player. Zork does a really good job of interpreting what the player types in. And as I found out, it's hard to account for every single possible thing that a person can type in, as well as how they type it. Even while I was debugging, I was trying things and it wouldn't understand. So I'd have to pause, go back, update the language processing part, and then continue debugging. I wanted to capture the essence of this game without directly copying it. So I put my own twist on it and turned the setting into the Wild West. The premise of this version is you show up to an old wooden house in the middle of the desert. Then when you finally wandered around the desert enough to break in, you find a mysterious coffin with engravings that tell you how to complete the storyline. Or you could just explore the map for the prized possessions, then be digitally rich. That's also cool too. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Here's the gameplay of the final product in command prompt. If you'd like to play it, there's a download link in the description. You'll need Java to run it, and chances are, if you have Minecraft on your computer, you'll be able to. If you enjoyed watching the video, make sure to leave a like, and if this video gets 10 likes, I'll release the source code on GitHub.